Hey everyone, we're outside of Davis, Oklahoma, and we're at a park called Crossbar Ranch. Crossbar is the newest location of a Jeep badge trail, and the badge trail is called GOAT, G-O-A-T. So I thought I'd just head up here and check it out. We drove about 2 hours to get up here. Now this spot we're at the southern end of the trail, there's a really wide, relatively flat graded area that you can see on Google Maps. We're going to run it south to north, and I'll show you some of the obstacles along the way. Alright, before we start the trail, I'm just going to do a few things. That includes airing down the tires and disconnecting my sway bar. I think we're ready to start on this trail and see what we see.
Huh? They're lined up with the rock. It's on the rock. Wait, what?
come downhill to a creek. I think it's kind of like on the line of doable for my Jeep. We'd probably have to winch to the tree at the top. So on this trip, since I have to drive home, not going to try it, but just check out how steep this is. Maybe next time. You can come around on a little a smooth bypass area to this section. And I've seen this in some videos where there's a steep ledge right here. So if you're coming down or you're going up, you have to turn up it and be careful not to get too off camber and tip over, roll down this edge right here. So we need to watch out for that. Maybe some of the people that went on this trail finished it with a little bit less clothing than they started. All right, let's keep going. My experience with these things is that sometimes you can drive into a 4 or 5 foot mud hole and just be completely stuck. And we were going to go around it, but then I checked it out with a stick. And it's only about half a foot deep, and it's pretty hard. So even though it looks really gross, I think it's totally fine to drive through here. There's just rock underneath. Here's one fun thing that I noticed is this tree has all the bark stripped off of it on the side all the way up to here, and that's because there's a big rock on this side and then the trail gets really low on this side. You need to make sure to swing wide enough that I can lean without scraping my Jeep on that. At the same time, we don't want to get so far over that we're unstable. obviously we took the right trail. We've just made it all the way to the north end of the trail, and then there's a black trail towards the entrance this way, and then there's a blue trail towards one of the main roads. So we're going to relax and take the blue trail out. I'm not sure which way I think would be easier or which way would be more fun. At the very south end, there are some spots that would be a lot more fun to climb if you were heading south. But as you come to the north end of the trail, there's a whole lot of really interesting climbs going north. So honestly, it could be really fun either way, and I think it's just as difficult either way you take it. Scrapes all kinds of things. I definitely was on the skid plates and scraped the side and scraped this. So very technical trail, and I'd say in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, in the trails that you can get to in that kind of radius, this is probably, compared to the other Texas trails, probably one of the most technical in this central region, just for all the difficult climbs and spots where you really need a fairly built rig. A lot of ground clearance, a lot of rocks sticking up, a lot of things to catch you on your differentials at the bottom of your car. So really amazing trail, and I'm sure a lot of people are going to come up here and start getting to it. According to the Jeep app, we were the 10th person to check in on this trail, so lucky 10 for us. All right, we'll see you next time. Happy trailing.